for being here. To begin, we'd like to welcome one of our founding pastors, Jeff Doan, to say a few words and give an invitation.
If I could get on.
Friends, let us pause for a moment of prayer. Just and compassionate God, we give you heartfelt thanks for this day of celebration for Lincoln Park Community Services and for this wondrous, welcoming facility. We are grateful for all who have persevered to bring this day to fruition. Guests, staff, volunteers, supporters, and board leaders. Thank you, God, that you have walked with us each step of the way, enlarging our vision of what it means to support and sustain the transformation of the lives of neighbors experiencing homelessness. Continue to guide us by your Spirit, we pray, that all your people may find the way home. Amen. 35 years ago, 4 churches in the Lincoln Park area were preparing for Lincoln Park Community Shelter at the time to come into being. It was during a cold February of 1985 that the doors first opened to the lower level of St. Catholic Church. A handful of guests had waited outside until 9 p.m., the stated time. They were welcomed in to share the warmth, safety, and security of the space with a thin pad and a blanket. All too soon, it was 6 a.m., and the guests bundled up for another day on the streets. Gradually, the efforts of emergency shelter began to grow. 3 of the churches offered their lower levels in rotation: St. Paul's United Church of Christ and Lincoln Park Presbyterian Church, where I was the pastor, joining together with St. Clement. A breakfast of coffee and cold cereal made an appearance before the guests' departure. Later on, in the days to come, dinner would await the guests on their arrival because there were many, many volunteers who signed up. Yet for all that growth, a major barrier remained. Until there was a permanent home for LPCS, it was hard to develop the needed wraparound services. In the early 2000s, a plan gradually came into being. LPCS, along with the Lincoln Park Presbyterian, would partner to raise $2.2 million and build out the lower level of that 1888 church building as a home for LPCS. Adversity, however, awaited us. There were contested zoning board hearings and lawsuits against LPCS and against 2 of the churches. Still, we persevered. And in June of 2007, LPCS moved into its first permanent home. As we celebrate today, the journey was not yet complete. More space was needed for both women and men in transitional housing. Permanent supportive housing was an increasing need. Government and philanthropic funding joined with very generous personal giving, creative construction, as you can see all about us, and continued perseverance brought this building about. Adversity had led to a broader vision with deepened commitment. And yes, the journey continues. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor Jeff. Next, we'd like to welcome one of our board members, Lydia Murray, to the stage.
All right, the schedule says I get 3 minutes, so I have to thank everybody that made this building happen in 3 minutes, so saddle up. So as Pastor said, we've been a guest and four churches of Lincoln Park have hosted us for 35 years. And I don't think many who started the program 35 years ago would envision this. But 4 years ago, the organization really took a leap of faith and decided that in the same way that we seek to provide housing stability for those who need it, we should probably have housing stability for our organization ourselves. And being a homeowner is fantastic. As wonderful as the churches are, being a host to us has been great, but it's really great to be a homeowner. So in the beginning, I have to thank the Polk Brothers Foundation. They gave us the seed money to begin dreaming and doing visioning sessions and programming. They allowed us to hire IFF, which is a great partner. I highly recommend to anybody that wants to build a building. Nonprofit, we work with IFF. They were an amazing partner to us. And we put the vision together of what we wanted the programming in the building to be. And we started working with the Nightingale organization that helped us figure out how to apply for grants. To the city and the state, and the city and the state actually gave us grant money. We wrote the applications, and they rewarded us, both IDA and the city of Chicago, with grant money. And then we decided, well, we need capital money. This is going to be a big effort, and started a capital campaign. And with our partners with CCS, we did a capital campaign. And many of you here are donors to a $4 million capital campaign. That's the reason we have this building today. We put the financing together, and we have our friends both from IFF who helped us with financing and with the Corporation for Supportive Housing that helped us give us the money while we were doing the capital campaign and actually letting us start construction. We wouldn't be here without you. And the JCUA, the Jewish Urban Affairs Council of Jewish Council of Urban Affairs, put that last little piece of funding that we were missing, and without them we wouldn't be here today. With all the funding in place, we then had to figure out what partners do we need to partner with, and what neighborhood do we figure out, where we're going to build this building. And with Tom Moore's help, he helped us navigate the city's zoning requirements, and so that we could be in full compliance with where to build the building. Thank you so much, Tom, with your leadership on that. And then we needed to find architects and a construction company, right? And we needed great partners in architects and a construction company. MKB, both Jack and Jerry are amazing architects who made all of this happen. And then our construction company, Norcon, who's been a great partner. So I want to call out Chelsea Jungles, who, there are a lot of people that can say, but without this person, this building wouldn't be here. But without this person, this building would not be here. Our construction manager, who is awesome. Thank you, Chelsea. So for some of us, it seems like it's taken a really long time to build this building. It's been 4 years. That's not that long from thinking about a building to building it. I want to call out some of the board members who have been instrumental and really key in working on it. Norm Jedala, who was on the board and rolled off. He was our president. Brent Carsonson was our past president. He also had the dream about a building like this. We had very active board members, Stacy Turner, who's our finance chair, Carol Dealey, who's our development chair, George, and Elizabeth. There's been a team effort from our board to help make this happen. And most importantly, I want to thank the staff of the organization. You guys are the heart of you're the arms and legs of the organization. And I want to thank our guests, because you're the inspiration. You are the soul of this organization. I want to thank all the guests, because this is why we exist, is for you. So I want to call up one person that when we decided we were going to do this, we were talking about, Lincoln Park community, we bring people together, we bring communities together to empower people who are facing homelessness. we really want to expand our mission, and we knocked on Alderman Burnett's door. We said, we really want to expand. We think we have a place. It's in your ward. Will you help us? And he said, absolutely. You're doing God's work. Yes. How can I help you? So I want to welcome Alderman Burnett. I want to thank you for your support.
Thank you very much. First of all, we want to give honor to God, right? Because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. I'd like to acknowledge my colleague, Alderman Michelle Smith, the 43rd Ward. And one of my senators, Senator Cullerton, John Cullerton, and his beautiful wife, who's here. And I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the community organizations. One, the Old Town Merchants and Residents organization was very instrumental in helping us to get approval for this project with the community. We also want to thank the New North Unity Program, who also helped us. It's such a blessing, you know. When they came to me, we knew we were going to have some challenges, right? Because everyone have this stigma about people that are homeless, and when you have places for people to stay that are homeless, people think that it's going to bring down my property value, the world is going to come to an end, everything you can think of is going to happen, and that's not the case. Actually, you know, and would always tell people I never had any affordable housing or any places with shelters that have brought down people's property value. We have had trouble in the community. Actually, what it does is it enhances the community because it takes the people from the community who are on the street and give them a place to stay, give them safety, give them dignity, give them a place to eat, you know, and it gives them opportunities to advance themselves out of the situation that they're in so that they can be productive citizens in our society. So it actually helps the community. It doesn't hurt the community. So I'm just grateful to God that I have the opportunity to be a part of this. I appreciate the governor's office, so from the governor's office, and Governor Pritzker, and the mayor's office, and everyone who's been involved in helping to fund this facility. It's just a joy to be here. It's a joy to be able to help people. Congratulations to all of you all, and God bless you. Thank you very much.
Next, we'd like to welcome to the stage our longtime supporter at 600 Fullerton, Alderman Smith, to the stage.
Well, thank you very much. It is such a joy to be here today and to see so many friends from the shelter, volunteers, longtime supporters who really put their heart and soul to advancing this mission. And I would very much like to thank Alderman Burnett for his leadership in helping bring this about in this perfect location, in a facility that was a building that was not exactly performing its best use at that time, in a way that allows you to continue your mission and also to keep this location as close as possible to Lincoln Park and the countless volunteers who have worked in the shelter over the years. And I'd also like to thank Senate President Cullerton and the governor, because my understanding is that for years, the Lincoln Park Community Shelter would not accept government funding. Isn't that right? Would not accept it because they were so committed to your particular program and its proven record of success that you made the decision that you would not accept government funding because it didn't guarantee that your residents could stay as long as necessary in order to rebuild their lives. And I'm so proud and excited that that commitment to mission over everything, which I see on everyone's shirt here, has guided you to the point that when you did receive government funding, it was, go ahead, do your thing. You're winning. You're doing it right. So I would like us all to applaud this organization for its commitment to this mission. So even though you are now across the street from my ward, I live a block and a half from here. So you're still in my neighborhood. And also, we're so thrilled that our neighborhood's involvement with the shelter has changed in the past 10 years to the extent that we were delighted that you were able to announce that the mission will continue at the Lincoln Park Presbyterian Church. And now funders have come forward in order so that it's been a double excitement. You get to expand and expand again. We know that housing is the critical issue in our city right now. I'm committed to having affordable housing in our ward. We will be bringing, in the next few years, about 150 new units of affordable housing to the 43rd ward. First time it's been done in 35 years. And so this mission, which will enable people to get there in their own lives, at their own speed, as a result of their own efforts, supported by you, the volunteers and your wonderful staff, is incredibly meaningful. Congratulations, Godspeed, and we can't wait to see what happens next for our guests. Thank you again.
Next, please give a warm welcome to Senate President John Fullerton.
Thank you very much. I think that is such a great title, isn't it? Senate President. It sounds so cool. I've always loved that title. So this morning, I would like to introduce you to the Speaker of my House, Pam Cullerton. I'm not going to give a long speech. I normally have to give an off-the-cuff speech, but I have notes here. And to be honest with you, since I knew my wife was going to be in the audience, I get nervous. So I'm going to read this. I don't take long, okay? So it's an honor to be part of this event. We live in a big city, in a big state, and we have some big problems. And it can seem overwhelming in a city of nearly 3 million. How can you help so many in need? That's what the challenge is. How can you make a difference? The Lincoln Park Community Services has the answer. My thought is that you help an individual, then you help another, then you help another, then you help another, and there's no one size fits all to the solutions to the problem people face. Make things better one person at a time, one day at a time. By making the needs of the individual a challenge for the entire community, Lincoln Park Community Services produces inspiring success. And I want you to think about this. At a time when we hear so much negativity and some simply want to sweep the poverty-stricken from view and call it a solution, you know what I'm talking about? Your commitment and energy are inspiring. Today we're here to celebrate the next step forward. The opening of this facility means the Lincoln Park Community Services has more beds, more space, and more programs, and more opportunities to successfully meet the needs of those who need help. Pam and I, by the way, are very good friends with the architect, Jerry Kelly, and her team. I think the architecture is fantastic from what I can see here, Jerry. So in closing, I just want to commend Lincoln Park Community Services for the work that you do and the additional challenges you're taking on. That's not easy. Thank you very much.
Please give a warm welcome to our Deputy Governor, Sol Flores.
Good morning. Thank you, Senate President. I would like to acknowledge you for all of your work that you help us do with the governor every single day. Governor Pritzker could not be here today, but he sends greetings and so look forward to bringing you here to understand and learn more about the mission of this incredible organization. Would like to also acknowledge Alderman Burnett and Alderman Smith and Juan Carlos Linares from the Mayor's Office for the work that you have done and continue to do to make sure that our city's most vulnerable are front and center. Coming here and being here today is exactly where I want to be. For many of you, you know that I spent the last 17 years of my life working alongside young people and families, making sure that they have the life of their dreams. And when I started in my work 17 years ago, I remember meeting this organization. And I remember very vividly meeting Erin Ryan, a previous executive director, who showed me along the way. We should acknowledge Erin Ryan. Who was always kind to me as a new executive director, showed me the ropes of this very technical thing called the Chicago Continuum of Care, coached me on zoning and NIMBYism, and lives on today, continue to do great work at another sister organization called the Knight Ministry. So thank you for your work. I'd like to also acknowledge some of the other nonprofit organizations and partners that are in this room, and we know that we work very closely with LPCS in making the work happen, like Lakeview Pantry, like La Casa Norte, who's here, and also our funding partners. We heard about Polk, we know Deloitte, and we know, of course, our good friends at Comcast. So thank you for all of your work as well. You heard earlier from Lydia that it truly takes a village to build an organization like this. And the reason why is because we are confronting isms in this world. And we are very clear that homelessness is not a crime. It is not an identity. It is a set of circumstances that we can overcome. We are clear that it is not a crime to be poor and that no human being is illegal. And you have organizations like this that are putting their word to vision and creating opportunities for people to come out of the shadows and be their best selves. And so we are so proud of that. Governor Pritzker earlier this year signed a capital bill committing $200 million to the Illinois Housing Development Authority to do more of this work, to build affordable housing, across the state of Illinois to ensure that Illinoisans who are most vulnerable, those who are experiencing homelessness, those with disabilities, our seniors, our veterans, and our working poor have an opportunity to also live their best lives. And of course, because all worlds collide, I also want to give a special acknowledgement to an individual I know has worked so hard. And while he wasn't here 4 years ago at the start of the Capitol campaign, he came in, I'm not good at sports analogies, but I think there's like someone in the last relay of the race, what's that person called?
Anchor,
I don't know.
anchor.
Thank you, anchor, who comes in and you're like, that person's fresh, they've got energy. And so I want to give a special acknowledgement to the executive director, Rodrigo Carrillo, for all of your work. I know you started this role earlier this year and you got handed a set of keys and the architect and the general contractor, and they said, how do you move us in? And you did it, and we are here successfully. And I'll just close with this. I had the honor a couple years ago of sitting at the Zoning Board of Appeals when this particular case came up for question. And we heard all sorts of nasty things that afternoon about those people and what they would do. And this isn't their place. And my kids won't be safe. And they went on and on and on about how this mission was going to divide the community. Well, in fact, we are here today with God's glory, and we know this mission is in fact uniting our communities. Thank you.
Lydia Murray back to the stage to introduce our next speaker.
So we have a special thank you that we wanted to save. First of all, our partners at Comcast have been amazing. They have helped us with computer equipment throughout the building, and one of the things as a board we wanted to make very clear when we built this new building is, if you've been in our space now, we're in a basement, we're literally underground. Like we weren't as well known, we're literally in the basement underground, and we are coming up above ground. We wanted to be very, very visible. We wanted to have people know our organization, know who we are, and we thought, artwork on our building will really, in Old Town, we're in a new neighborhood, and they're known for their art. We wanted to add art to the building. And Comcast absolutely stepped up and was like, we have an artist that we want to introduce you to, and we'd like to help fund the artwork for your new building coming above ground. And so I was on the beach in August, and I have a guilty pleasure like O Magazine, and I'm opening the O Magazine, like flipping through, and it was our artist in O Magazine. That she just finished the artwork here, and she was in Oprah's magazine. And so I'm really honored to introduce Sam Kirk, who is our amazing artist that put the mural on the building that, like, everybody, when I say the organization now, I'm like, oh, at the Sedgwick stop with art, like, yes, I know that building, I've seen that building. And we are known now because of this artwork on this beautiful building. I'd like to introduce Sam Kirk, the artist.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I'm really happy to hear that that's what's happening, because that's the point of public art for me. I definitely want to thank the LPCS community. It's been such a pleasure to work with everyone from the beginning all the way to the end. This process has been a bit magical because it was executed exactly the way I would want any public art project that is for the community to happen. We started off with workshops where we were able to sit down and talk to a lot of the members and learn from them directly firsthand what they felt we needed to create to share their story and to share how LPCS helps them to get to the future, to reach their future goals. And that was really impactful because so often when we create public art, I create public art specifically to highlight people within underrepresented communities and to address social justice topics. We don't always get that chance to have that dialogue and to hear from the people who are trying to represent, what do we need to focus on? What do you wish people knew more about? How can I make your voice heard and seen in this piece? So being able to do that was just amazing. So I thank you so much for allowing me the time to create that content in that way and to really produce something that I feel like reflects what you're doing in your mission. I also want to thank our friends at Xfinity and Comcast. They've been huge supporters of my work. All of the bags that you have, if you haven't seen the mural, is what the artwork looks like. It's on the north side of the building. But thank you so much for always supporting what I do and being big supporters of the community. I also want to thank my team, even though it's me that most people see. I have a team that helps me with this. Bobby and Jenny are here. They helped paint this mural, which was a huge undertaking. Anne and Sylvia and Nick and Michelle. It's a pretty big crew for me. But more than anything, I hope that this mural helps to increase visibility for everything that you guys are doing. As people ride the train, I hope that it sparks curiosity and makes them wonder, what is LPCS? And go online and learn more about what you're doing and hopefully also contribute and become part of the larger community. So thank you so much.
Next, we'd like to welcome to the stage a very special guest, Ron Schaefer.
Glad to see you all here. I was once homeless 20 years. With the grace of God and everybody supporting me, I'm here at the shelter. I am a guest here. And with all the hard work and people working behind me like this, I am going to be a resident here. I've had my ups and downs, 20 years of it, and I just got tired of it. I got sick of it. So I reached out for some help, and I got the help at the hospital in Illinois, Masonic, and they recommended me here. And I'm so proud to be here, and I thank everybody that supported me. Thank you.
Finally, please welcome to the stage our first Latino LGBT director, Rodrigo Carrillo.
Wow. What an amazing event. Thank you, everyone. Buenos dias. Good morning. The rain held off. The sun is shining. Yes. Thank you all for spending your morning with us and being part of this momentous occasion. This could not be possible without the following. Campaign investors. Our campaign investors, our board, our staff, our volunteers, our guests, our foundations, our partners, our founding churches. We especially want to thank the partners that made this new facility possible. The City of Chicago, Illinois Housing Development Authority, Federal Home Loan Bank, IFF, Corporation for Supportive Housing, Jewish Council for Urban Affairs. Please give them one more round of applause. To our neighbors, or to our new Old Town neighbors, including the Old Town Merchants, near North Unity Project, the 18th District First Responders, Art on Cedric, you have made us so welcome. Thank you for welcoming us into this neighborhood. A special shout out to Humble Design. You guys were fantastic, and CB2 for providing this space with some furniture, but providing that glorious drop-in area to make us feel welcome for all. Thank you so much. I am especially overjoyed to thank Comcast. Comcast has been a generous supporter, not only in our technology, but as you just saw with Sam Kirk. Sam, when I started and I saw your art piece, I could not believe that you have captured not only the history, yes, you captured the present and the future. As a member of the LGBTQ community, I am so proud of your representation that you've captured for our organization. Thank you so much, Sam Kirk. MKB, you have a big fan here, MKB, and I'm a big fan too. I came at the last minute, like Sol said. You had the challenge of designing 2 buildings in one for 2 distinct purposes, which is not easy, right? This unique design has given our tenants, this unique and thoughtful design has given our tenants, our guests, housing with dignity and hope. And I love showing the units. When I go in there and show these units, I love seeing the new tenants with their face light up. Just like that unit is lit up with natural sunlight and overlooking these floor-to-ceiling windows with $500,000 condos right across the street, right? If not $1 million. But the thing is that it's giving someone a sense of belonging, that you belong in this neighborhood. So thank you for your thoughtful and unique design. Yes. I want to acknowledge everyone in the first row. Senate President Cullerton, thank you so much. Alderman Burnett, Alderman Smith, the Lieutenant Governor's Office, Teresa Reyes, and Sol Flores from the Governor's Office. Thank you for your commitment, for continuing the work that we do, and continue to be strong advocates in this sector. We all know homelessness is a big issue nationally and locally. As a city, we need to be doing everything possible to address the need of people experiencing homelessness. We know, you know, that housing is a fundamental human right. Organizations like ours have designed programs and spaces to address those needs, to continue the support of our great, need the support of our great city to end the cycle of homelessness. Now you're probably wondering, ending the cycle of homelessness is a big task. Ensuring everyone is housed is not impossible in the city of Chicago, in the city of pioneers. We literally rebuilt this city after, through ashes 150 years ago. We can end homelessness. Absolutely. In modern day, we have had better equipment, advanced technology, speed in our communication. It is hard to see people experiencing homelessness in the backdrop of towers that contain millions of people that sprang from the mines here in this great city. Everyone proves here today that we have the will and we have the way to do this together. We can use our many experiences, our knowledge, and our passion to serve our most vulnerable. We are the home of the original skyscraper. We are the home of cultural diversity. We are the home of 2 baseball team championships. I don't do sports either. We're the home of the Bears, I know that. We're the home of a hockey team winning a championship as well. We are the home of the city of hope and accomplishment. Chicago is a world leader in building foundations and engineering marvels. Well, here at LPCS, we are building foundations to change lives. LPCS is about to enter our 35th year. And our organization has an impact and expanded significantly over the last year. And I want to take a moment to thank the staff. Raise your hands. I do this to you. These are the people making it happen every day, 24 hours a day. As we grow into our new space, our team is working hard to close the Building Communities Transforming Lives Capital campaign. We are at 98% of our goal of $4 million. That's just over $100,000. Ooh, I have my job cut out for me, don't I? So, did you know that just under 300 individuals and investors, organization made this building possible? So you're about a third of that right here in this room. Talk about a collective impact of a small group. I want to thank all our campaign investors. So if you're in this room, thank you. Give them a round of applause. But we still need your help, right? We're asking you to dig deep. We're asking you to go into those amazing tote bags donated by Comcast. Thank you very much. And in those tote bags, there's an envelope. If this mission calls you to take action, we are asking you to help us cross that finish line. We are almost there. I am super excited to have joined this organization in this past 6 months. Has been an amazing experience. I can't wait for the years to come. If you care to make a pledge, where's my team? Raise your hand. Please see my team. My team will gladly take some donations. Again, I want to thank each and every one of your supports. We are filled with gratitude to make this happen. Thank you all. Muchísimas gracias. And we're about to cut the ribbon right here. So if I can get this first row to come up, we're gonna face the street so we can have the backdrop of the building with the lights. And we're gonna finally cut this ribbon. So let's do this. Everyone get up. We want you all behind us.
Sorry, excuse me. All right, we ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you all. Enjoy the music. There's food, there's drinks. Get to know us, and thank you so much again. Thank you.